Messi to his right. He keeps it on his left, of course. Oh, what a ball to Cremaschi!
Oh!
And to Messi!
Benja Cremaschi, the top 50 wonder kid in the world, Julian's teammate at Inter Miami, and a member of the U.S. men's national team at the Olympics that made it into the knockouts, is with us. Benja, thank you so much for joining us. And I'm going right to your favorite thing you've seen at the Olympics so far. As an Olympian, your opinion obviously matters more here. So
Yeah, of course. Thank you guys for having me. But yeah, I think my favorite thing in the Olympics probably has to be Ledecky. Just setting the first 20 time records for the competition, and I think that's honestly just insane.
Did you get to experience anything in person, anything live while you're there after
No, we
you got
were
knocked out?
yeah.
Maybe.
No, because we were in Paris super little time, and some of the guys went to watch Leteki actually,
Okay.
and watch the swimming competition. But it was pretty hard to get tickets. I think Walker kind of did his thing
Yeah.
and got a couple of guys in. But I honestly decided to go to the Olympic Village and check how that was, and it was pretty fun. We didn't have much time, but I did what I could, and after we lost, it was 7:30 a.m. flight home,
Oh
so
wow.
I couldn't do much the next day. So
But were just before we rewind this to the beginning, were the beds in the Olympic Village as bad as they say?
I have no idea because we stayed in hotels. We didn't stay in the Olympic Village.
You're too fancy for that.
We just went to visit it. But no, I didn't even check out a room. Nothing. We just walked around for a little bit. But it was fun. It was interesting.
What was your favorite thing you did see in the Olympic Village then?
I think the building of the food hall was pretty cool because it was just a bunch of flags, and it was like lit up Paris 2024. It was very pretty. Also, I went when it was kind of sunset, so
Okay.
it just looked really nice.
Yeah. I mean, we talked to Walker last week, and he was saying how he was like or he felt a little bit far removed, and he like from like Team USA didn't really see many other athletes, and because you guys have been all over kind of France, in a way, right? Playing at all these different. Did you get that spirit at least a little bit before that quarterfinals match, or was it like did you meet anybody else that you were like holy who's this or what?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't meet anyone, but yeah, walking around the village and just seeing a bunch of athletes and the countries they're from is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It's fun just to watch, and with a couple of guys, we were joking around and trying to guess what sport they had, like what sport they played, and I honestly think we didn't hit one. I don't think we hit one, but it was pretty fun, just to see a bunch of people from a bunch of different countries, just walking around in a village, let's say, and yeah, I think that was pretty interesting to watch.
Amazing.
We'll take this. We jumped right into the Olympic stuff in the middle of it, but I want to take this back to the beginning because when you start becoming a footballer, right, a soccer player, the Olympics is not necessarily something that comes into focus right away, right? Your dream is to make it at a club and play professionally, maybe play for your national team, and so on. When did you realize that the Olympics actually could be a possibility? And how did you find out that you were actually going to be able to go to the Olympics? Because the Olympics themselves are just beyond insane.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think what you're saying is very truthful. Honestly, you know, obviously you will always want to participate in big events like this, and but it's not really the set goal, since you're a child, right? If you're a soccer player, and the Olympics was a target, and when I got called into, or when I knew that I had the possibility to get called into the first camp for the Olympics and be in that cycle, I feel like that was the moment where I set that goal in my head. And obviously, when they let me know about the Olympics, it was huge. It was, something that I was working for maybe a couple months, and since the first camp. I mean, Julian was there.
Yeah.
I had a talk with him, and I told him that I was pretty anxious, to find out if I was gonna make the roster. And the moment I found out, that I called my family, my friends, and everyone. And then I remember at dinner telling Julian, and he told me that he already knew. So
Yeah.
that was pretty
See,
funny.
I knew before Benja did. It was funny.
Yeah.
Because our assistant coach came up to me to round out the story a little bit. Our assistant coach came up to me, I think, a couple days before about that you made it, and he told me that you made it. And then it was like about kind of when the coach will call you to tell you, basically, because they were like worried that it was going to be too close to game time or whatever. So I don't know. I just like listened and said, do it as early as possible in the day. Um, and yeah, so I kind of knew, so I kind of had to play dumb a little bit every time I asked him. I was like, "Hey, did you hear already?" Or kind of what's happening. And you told me that you actually missed the call in the beginning, right?
Yeah, because he texted me in the morning, but we had practice in the morning, I think, and I think I didn't even check my messages or something like that. And then I remember getting back to the hotel, having lunch, and going up the elevator, and I checked my messages, and I saw that he had texted me. So I texted him right away. He called me right away, and yeah, that's how I found out.
Yeah, nice. No, and then we celebrated a little bit with the team with Diego together as well,
Yeah.
at the dinner then that night.
I was fascinated. We've obviously been kind of talking about this as the Olympic tournament goes on by the composition of this team. Did it feel different playing with the Olympic team than it does playing with any other a youth national team or club team that you've played with? Because it feels so thrown together last minute. In the roster's 16 guys.
Yeah, and it obviously, I mean, for me, it feels different because I've played with youth teams, but I haven't really been at a tournament.
Yeah.
I haven't played any World Cups, any youth World Cups, or anything. So this is my first tournament with uh with the USA, and so obviously it did feel different. It's also 18 players with three alternates, and and it did feel different. It was obviously a little longer than usual camps, but it was great. Honestly, I enjoyed it so much. There wasn't one time where I felt like I was bored. Maybe in some camps I'm like, oh, I just want to get back, like I want to go home. But I was really happy there. The guys honestly were great. The team was very united, and I feel like that just made it pass super fast too.
Who were your
And
best
you
friends on
guys
the team?
I was really tight with Kevin Paredes and Griffin Yao,
Two
the
DC
DC
guys,
boys.
yeah.
You know them.
Yeah. You probably talked so
Yeah,
much crap
those
about me, didn't you?
I mean, they just told me that you would just hit them in practice.
Yeah, because they were too
That's the only
quick.
thing.
They were too quick.
Yeah, that's the only thing they would tell me. Um, but yeah, I mean, they're great guys. I mean, you know them. They're clowns.
Yeah.
They're always messing around, and it was super fun to just have them around, and I would always just spend time with them.
Awesome.
But
is the
honestly, everyone was great. The whole team was obviously amazing people.
is the football that's played, like, is the soccer played different than anything you'd experienced before? Obviously the experience itself was, but when you're on the field in the Olympics, the passes were sharper, the tactics were different, or was it all just same old?
Yeah, I mean, I think Olympics is a top level. I think there's a lot of huge players playing that tournament. I mean, you could I could name a few that played in it. Julian Alvarez played.
Yeah.
He's a top player. Like Gadjet, Hakimi. We played against Hakimi and Lacazette, and you could tell that they're top players. So obviously everything is sharp, is quick. But yeah, it's fun to experience that because you get a feel and taste of what the next level is. So it's awesome.
So that kind of whets the appetite to try and keep pushing to get involved. Get involved in those
Yeah,
types of matches
obviously,
more. Yeah.
obviously. I mean, it probably just feeds a little more into everything, and just experiencing the level that is played there, is amazing.
But now you're back in Miami, right? Because you had to catch that 7:30 flight that somebody so graciously booked you to
Yeah.
get back immediately. And I just have this is almost a favor to ask because I'm a Floridian. I'm from Tampa, though. I know it's completely different, right? But I am at least from Florida, so I get half of it. I rode alligators to school as well. Like,
Yeah.
it makes sense. But Julian's this kind of new Floridian. Is there anything that you feel like you need to teach Julian so he can be more of a native Floridian, right? So he can be more natural, a little less awkward.
Yeah, I don't know. I
What do you
mean,
mean? I
he
got my
speaks pretty good. He speaks pretty good in Spanish. I don't know if you speak it, but you understand it.
Yeah, thank
So
you.
I feel like that's important in Miami. I mean, absolutely everyone speaks Spanish, so I think he has that pretty well. So I can't really teach him much.
I mean, I got my sunglasses on. I got my Birkenstocks. Still a little German in there.
Yeah,
I got my tank tops ready. How much more Floridian do you want me to get here? My AC's
I
out, but
feel like
that's
he's.
about it.
I
I
feel
feel
like
like I need an
yeah, I
AC.
feel like he's pretty well prepared.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that.
The first time I actually heard about you, Benha, as me being the one person in this conversation that is not a professional athlete, I just heard about you on social media. But it was this interesting conversation that was around not just you being from Florida, but you also having these Argentine roots. And then all of a sudden, instantly, when you make your kind of senior debut, you're playing with the greatest player of all time, who's also Argentine.
Yeah.
And we just talked about the Olympic experience, but this is obviously the first time we've been able to kind of hang out on this podcast and talk. What was that like? I mean, Julian talks about at length what it's like to play with Leo Messi and all the guys on the team. But for you, with those Argentine roots, like the moment you realized you'd be on the same field with Leo Messi, I would have fainted. And I'm not, I don't have an Argentine heart, as your dad would say.
Yeah, when everything happened, it obviously felt really unreal. I didn't I didn't really want to believe it until I saw it, until I saw him in person. Obviously, I felt it because my phone was blowing up. Everyone was texting me. It was just crazy. Obviously, I was one of the few Argentines that were in Miami, in Inter Miami before he got there, and yeah, it just blew up. Like my phone blew. I think I went from 15K followers to like 300 in less than a week. So that was just insane. But then after seeing him, for the first time is something different. That's when you really understand that you're gonna be playing with the guy that you've watched your entire life and that you've admired, and just honestly seeing how great of a guy he is and everything is something that I don't even know how to describe it. It's something that you don't expect, and it's been great. I mean, Julian sees it. I feel like he feels the same thing, and it's just amazing to be surrounded by these players, not just him, but the others.
Is there a moment for you, that just one moment or multiple moments, where it's either an advice that he's given you, it's something that he said, it's something that you guys experienced together, a goal celebration, whatever, that kind of sticks out? Because I feel like you have a different relationship to him, obviously, than me, just because you can speak to him, right?
Yeah,
And so much more in depth, right? For me, it's all surface level,
yeah,
like, type of stuff, right? But is there something that sticks out for you that, you've kind of experienced with him together?
yeah. I mean, obviously, talking to him, you just see how down to earth he is, and how he just would have a conversation with you about anything. But something that sticks out to me for sure is a goal celebration. When I gave him that pass back in against the New York Red Bulls, and the goal that I don't know how he sees me, but he
Yeah,
does,
I remember
and,
watching it. Yeah.
and he jumps into my arms, and I feel like that moment is a moment that I could never forget.
Messi to his right. He keeps it on his left, of course. Oh, what a ball to Cremaschi! Oh! And to Messi!
I've said it before. I'll say it again. I didn't want to let go.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can't carry him everywhere. So I don't know. That moment for sure was probably the greatest moment.
Did he know you were like, part Argentine when you first met, or how did he find out that, and what was his reaction?
Yeah, I kind of got surprised when I met him. So when I met him, I was parking in the parking lot, and I see him walk in with his kids into the facility. So I was like, oh my god! And I texted my family, my friends, and whatever. I walked in pretty nervous. I went to say hi to him, like to greet myself, and he said Benja, like he said my name. So that kind of caught me off guard. How he knew who I was, and he spoke to me in Spanish. So that was pretty great. And that was super nice of him, I guess.
So
Like,
you got a jump scare from Leo Messi
Yeah.
walking into the facility the first time because he just said your name. You thought you were
yeah.
trying to plan how you were going to introduce yourself, weren't you?
Yeah, obviously, I was nervous. I didn't know how to say it, how to introduce myself or anything. But my locker room is opposite from him, opposite corners, and he met me halfway, and he he said Benja. I greeted myself, and I don't know. It was honestly a great moment.
That sounds
It's
amazing.
well, I can't give you that type of moment, but I'll try. I'll try to give you another great moment because this is hot off the press. I saw this today was a travel day for me, and I saw this during the travel day. But Goal.com does its 50 best wonder kids in the world. I actually don't even know if you've seen this yet. You might have.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if I've
you are the
seen it.
48th best wonder kid in the world, according to Goal.com,
All right.
just ahead of the Australian superstar Nestori Irankunda, who just signed with Bayern. So, I mean, this is a very, very cool spot to be in. And I want to give, Julian some credit for that because you do have 3 goals this year. But Julian did assist one of them.
El toque para Julian Gressel. El centro por bajo está. ¡Gol! Es tuyo, Benja.
So
Yeah.
it's possible you wouldn't be in the top 50 wonder kids if it wasn't for Julian. So I'll
For
just
Julian.
open up
I
the
also
floor.
did give him his the assist for his first goal for Miami.
Campana again, the return. Jordi Alba brings this down sweetly. Played into the 18. Oh, Cremaschi couldn't take the pass cleanly. Gressel gives it a go and fires it home.
So
That's right.
I'm just putting
Yes,
that out there.
You're right.
Okay.
Very true.
I'm
It
just
was
putting that out there.
reciprocated.
Yeah.
That's what you're
Yeah.
saying.
He did, yes. Yeah. Well, thank you then.
Yeah, thank you too. I appreciate what you do for me.
No, but I think we obviously had a stretch of where we played together quite a bit, where I was out on the wing and you were kind of as a right-sided eight just before you left there for the Olympics. And, Leo got hurt and I kind of slotted in, or was at the Copa and I kind of slotted in on the right. I felt like our understanding was pretty good from the start and something that you can see obviously on that Charlotte goal where, I know that you're going to make that run. You got it likes to run, you got it likes to get forward and make difficult things happen, and that was certainly something. But I want to go back to maybe a question that I don't know if you think about this all the time, but is there something that your friends ask you all the time about kind of what your life is like? And because you are living kind of a teenage dream a little bit, right, in your hometown, you're playing for
Yeah.
your pro team, for the club here with the greatest player in the world. All eyes of North American or the world soccer is on us in a sense, right? And you are kind of right in the middle of it. And is there something that your friends that kind of have access to the inner circle to you ask you all the time?
Yeah, my friends have asked me a bunch of things. Obviously, how it feels, right, to play with him and all of that. My closest friends actually don't really ask me much. kind of don't care that I'm a soccer player.
Okay.
Like obviously
Good.
they do,
Good.
but they just see me as the same kid, I always was, and I actually love that from them. Um, but yeah, I have people come up to me and ask me how it is, and I tell them what I feel, and the experiences that I've had for now, and for other people that aren't in my life, it's insane, right?
Yeah.
I feel like if it was one of my friends, and I look at it from the outside, I wouldn't believe what's happening, but since it's my life, I've said it before, but since it's my life, I normalize it so much.
Yeah. I
Like I try
feel
to normalize my life so much, but it's it's incredible. It's something that shouldn't happen, and it happens, and it's I just say that I'm lucky to be in the spot that I am. I've worked hard, I've dedicated a lot of time, but to be a soccer player, not to be playing alongside, the best players in the world.
yeah.
Sometimes it just works out, particularly when you have fantastic hair, which is my professional segue to our fan questions, because we put this out the internet. Julian tossed it out as well, and we wanted some questions that the fans would be able to ask you during this whole deal. And the first one is from Quinn Arthur Cahoon on Instagram, who says, "Of course, what's the hair routine, man?"
My hair routine, I mean, probably not gonna believe it, but I only put shampoo in my hair.
Oh, come on,
Just
no.
only shampoo. If I put conditioner, it's just gonna go straight down. I'll probably have like a bucket. But yeah, I only put shampoo. In the mornings, I just stick my head in the shower, wet it, dry it, and I'm off. Um, but yeah, I don't
Easy.
have really a hair routine, no products, anything.
Natural
I feel
beauty.
like,
Yeah, I
yeah,
was
it's
gonna,
just
the
natural, and it just shapes up this way, and yeah, that's about it.
the iconic hair is all natural, which is awesome and also even more depressing for my own hairline.
Can I ask this next question, please? It is from Houston Crawford, also from Instagram. And he asks, what is it like having Julian Gressel as a teammate?
I'll
Is
say
that
I'll
your
say
alternate
this.
account, Houston
Yeah,
Crawford on Instagram?
that's
That's
me.
that is.
It's my burner.
I'll say this: if he keeps on giving me those passes and those assists, or me giving him passes and he scores, giving me assist, like giving me an assist, um, yeah, he's a great guy, great teammate,
That's all?
for
Only
sure.
then?
For sure, yeah. Only then, only if he can make me rich.
Oh, amazing.
Nah,
I make you
nah.
rich up here
Obviously,
in your mind, too. No.
yeah. No, obviously. I mean, I've been with Julian for what, it's been 7 months,
Yeah.
8 months, and I mean he's been great. You've been great to me. I mean we've sat down and we've had multiple conversations about if it's life or the sport, and obviously it's nice to have someone like that to basically, because you're just giving me your experience, that you've lived, and it's honestly just great to absorb all of that. Like I try to absorb information from Busquets and Leo and Suarez and Jordi and whoever it is, and you're obviously someone that I try to listen to, and I don't know, having you has been good. I feel like it's been good for me for this year, and yeah, so I appreciate having you, bro.
Thanks for saying that. No, I appreciate it. Good. Good, good.
Um, if you ever wanted to mix up the hair game, Julian obviously goes with a different approach. So I feel like might be able to help you out there too. And then Kevin, we got a third question for you from Kevin on Instagram. He said, "What's your favorite local place to grab a bite to eat?"
I think in Miami to grab something to eat is Chimba. I feel like I've posted it before. It's nice. It's in around around Midtown. Super nice area. Super good food. It's kind of Latin based foods. Has Argentinian dishes. It has, I think, Colombian dishes, Chile dishes, and just a bunch of dishes that are really good. And I think that has to be one of the top for me.
What is your order there?
I'll probably get the milanesa. I think that's the safest and best way to go.
Okay. All right. Well, when you will get transferred to a big European team, if that is sooner or later, because it will happen, because you have the quality to do it and the mind to do it as well, then we will have our goodbye dinner there. How about that?
Yeah, perfect.
I love it.
I'm down.
I love it.
Can I come? I want the Milanesa.
You're invited.
You coming for that, but not for me? Great.
I'm assuming by then we've hung out a few more times, Julian. I wouldn't do that to you. But thank you so much, Benja, for coming on the podcast today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.